Hey, Brad, I just wanted to ask you about the Gregory Hoffman situation. He says he's not coming back. I guess how big of a kind of a loss is that for this team in particular with the speed, but also what kind of opportunity does that open up for other guys?
Yeah, it was kind of came out of left field, no question. But him and his family made a decision, and so we respect that decision and we move forward. He was a player. He's very intriguing for me still. He was. I know he's older, but he had great legs, and I think there was a real good opportunity for him. But in saying that, he has made his decision, and now we do move forward. And again, it opens more doors for other guys, and we'll see what that opportunity looks like for some of those guys.
Yeah, did it seem like with Hoffman like he was starting to get it a little bit, before he left?
Well, I think with Hoff, he's used to success, right? He's 29 years old. He's had a real good career over there in Europe, in Switzerland, and not that it came easy to him, but he was comfortable. And so coming here, smaller ice, adjusting. Nobody knows him. I didn't know him as a coach. Seen video, but just very little bit of it. Watching him in practice, looks like $1 million most practices just because he's got a real good engine and great work ethic. But it didn't translate in games offensively, in especially early going on. But navigating that time and space, navigating against playing on the smaller ice against better players, all those things added up, and I think it was frustrating for him. Trying to teach a 29-year-old to be patient is difficult. And I think he was trying his best. But what I always loved about him, just he had a great work ethic. He always pushed the pace. He always tried to work at his game. And it was coming. I think it was coming. I think he still needed to be patient. And again, he was 23 games into his career, which is so few games to really judge him in. You get 2 or 3 years and you see, but he had the engine, the work ethic, the tenacity. I think there was something there, but he made that decision again. Well, I'll respect that decision he made.
Yeah. This season you had two of those guys come over, in their upper 20s from Europe. One was Canadian, obviously, with Danforth. Let's talk about Danforth a little bit. I mean, I know he got hurt. How big of or I guess how do you how badly do you feel for a guy like that? He came in here and really eventually took him a little while, but he seemed to earn a spot and then got hurt.
Well, the one thing Danny's done that I thought he did a real good job of handling was the disappointment early. He got sent down. That was hard. And again, he's an older guy. He finally got that one-way deal, but now he's going to the minors. And I thought he handled it great. We talked about where we'd like to use him more on the wing than probably center. So he wanted to be a winger in the minors. He went down. He did that. All reports is he worked extremely hard, earned his way back. And I think once he got back, he was a little bit more comfortable. I don't think he had the greatest camp. It wasn't a lack of effort. I just think feeling comfortable and making plays and understanding where he fits in. Again, he's had success offensively overseas, but coming here it's a different game. It's a different animal that way. So what he did a really good job of was adjusting what he had to do to get into the lineup and then stay relevant and get noticed. So again, he's got a great engine. I thought his pace was really good, how he played the game. He was finding a little bit of an edge to his game. And in saying that, then he was starting to generate a little bit. He was getting to the point where I couldn't take him out of the lineup. And that's what you want. You want a guy to kind of seize the moment and take that opportunity and run with it and make my decision hard every night. And that's where we were getting with him. And then unfortunately got hurt. So now trying to heal him up and get back up to speed as soon as possible.
Yeah, so he was an intriguing guy for you, though, at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. He wasn't going away. And that's what you want. You want them to make your decision hard. If you've got to make roster decisions, he accepted a different role that he's used to and wanted to make the best of it. And he did that. And I think in doing that, like I tell players, then you get noticed. And then when the opportunity arises, you may move up. And that's kind of where he was going, trending with me. He was a guy that was very intriguing and starting to move he was building trust with what he was doing, how he was playing within our system structure, his tenacity. So yeah, no, he was going the right direction, no question.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Aaron Portzline. Go ahead, Aaron.
Thanks, Glenn. Good day, Lars.
Hey, Paul.
Patrick Laine, when he first came back, I mean, he missed almost 2 months, maybe a little bit more. He looked pretty good his first couple of games back. I'm not sure if that was just adrenaline, but uncharacteristically, no shot attempts last night. Is this a larger adjustment coming back from that time off, and are we starting to see that struggle right now?
Well, the players don't believe you when we talked with you about it, talked with him about it. Like, he was dying to get back in, and when you skate 6 times over 2 months, that's not much. I don't care who you are, and we got those 4 practices in a row, which helped sway me a bit because we had some really good team practices, and yeah, adrenaline takes over, especially the first game, right? You're excited to be back. You got endless energy. But there's a reality of when you get back to the grind and you're practicing and then you're playing, and then, it's that day on, day off mentality, and there might be some back-to-backs coming. So you do settle in somewhere, and fatigue is a real thing, and conditioning is a real thing. And you do your best to maximize that off time. But I've said this countless times, when you're hurt, you fall behind. I don't care who you are, how hard you train. The league doesn't stop for anybody. Games are being played and you are not. So when you're not, if you train hard and you put the work in the gym and on the ice, it allows you to hopefully catch up sooner than later, because there's a timing element of the games and just feeling the pressure. And quite honestly, people don't talk about it much, but just the mental engagement in a game that you don't have for, say, 2 months, and then you start plugging in there, and it taxes your body mentally, physically. And that's another thing you have to learn to overcome and readjust and recuperate from. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of that settle in period, and he's working hard. I'll tell you this, he's working hard in the gym. He's doing the work in practices. He's doing what he needs to do. And yeah, we talk about him all the time, shooting the puck, and that's that shot first mentality, because he's got it. And sometimes with fatigue, you don't move your feet enough. You don't get those opportunities. But quite honestly, last night, if I look at our team and we were all in that boat, we were flat, and I don't know why. But we didn't have jump, and that concerned me. And so frustrating as it is, we deal with it. We move on.
Some of these guys that have had COVID, and it seems like most guys have had minor symptoms, if any. But do you see a residual effect? I mean, this is a long virus, and for a lot of people, do you see a residual effect after they come back in? Or do they tell you that they've had trouble getting back to where they were before, even if they're not sick necessarily?
Well, yeah, because you have 10 days off.
That's all it is. They're not the illness.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to speak for them, because that would be ignorant on my behalf. So all reports I've got, most guys have been fairly asymptomatic, but some head cold stuff and different things, and they've all been different, right? Some guys a little bit more serious than others, maybe lasted a couple of days. But is there a lasting effect of this? I don't know. I know fatigue's a real thing, because when you sit around for 10 days and don't do much, COVID, no COVID, anything, and you're a high price athlete, or you're an athlete that's used to working daily, it's a really hard thing to overcome. And there's not a training camp when you get to come back. You don't get a week, 8 days. It's generally, how you feeling? Good. All right, here's a practice. Good to go. Yep, I'm in. So and it's all spaced out, right? You got 1 and 2 guys getting picked off at a time. So, and again, I am not using this as an excuse for our team. Everybody's going through it. It seems like I just know what we're challenged with, and to get the group together, get them feeling good, get the pace back and everything that we're doing. It's been a real challenge, and I think the guys feel it, especially the first game they feel great, and then it's like, whew, it's hard, and now they're trying to find it as we play games.
Yeah. And Max Domi's was a real source of energy for you early in the season. It feels like things have changed a little bit there, where that line is a line you kind of get away from in certain situations. Where is his game, and how much has his play dropped or dipped or tailed off? I guess I'm putting words in your mouth, maybe.
Yeah, well, Max was, we all know he was gangbusters early on. I mean, he was, I loved how he's playing. And then Max went through a lot too. You know,
Yeah.
he got hurt, and he does all that work, gets back out of the gates flying, gets hurt, misses time, gets back, gets hurt, then gets COVID. Then, you know, it's hard to make up missed time. So he's been chasing it a bit too, as far as energy levels and finding that complete game. Him and I have had a lot of good talks about, you know, what a responsible game looks like, and what I'm going to need from him in all situations. Mac's very receptive. He wants to do well. You know, some of these games I go with the guys I think can help win us those games in those moments, and it's 1-goal games generally, and we've played a lot of those tight games. And that's my choice. That's my decision. And Max has got to get himself into those discussions by playing, you know, more responsible at times. And he knows it. It's not something that I'm beating his head over. It's we've looked at video, we looked at certain situations and what that looks like, and he understands.
And one more, if I could, on Hoffman. Did you get a sense with him that he was sort of torn to be in two places at once, or was this a complete blindside when he told you?
I didn't get that. You know, I know he missed his wife, and you know, she's pregnant, right? She's
Sure.
overseas and gonna have the child. Anybody who's had kids, that's a really, really difficult thing to be away from your family, especially it's his first child. You know, she's there, she's got family, but he's here alone. Even though he got teammates, that's a helpless feeling. Now, I didn't get any sense that he wasn't going to come back at all. You know, again, that's a decision that he made between him, his wife, his family. You know, we respect that decision, and we move on. I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah. Thanks, Brad.
Okay, do we have any other questions? All right, let's see it. Oh, go back to Brian Hedrick. Go ahead, Brian.
I kind of have a little off the wall one for you about.
Oh no, Hedge. How off the wall are we going here?
Not too far. It's still a hockey question. That's
All
good.
right, good. Because I don't know anything about football.
No, I've always been curious about end of game situations with pulling the goalie and stuff. And your first year head coach in the NHL, I know you did it in the AHL as well. Do you have a set, strategy there going into a game, or is that like a by field type thing?
Well, there's certain things that we're looking for. We've built a kind of a mini playbook and different things with Pascal and what we're looking for, and personnel. We have a pretty good idea who we're going to use in those situations. As far as the timing of it, depends if it's 1 or 2 goals. You know, it depends on the situation of the game. Do we have a timeout? Do we not? Is the opponent tired, fatigued? Can we catch them a little bit tired if we got a little bit more gas in the tank? You know, there's a lot that goes into it, but we're prepared for those situations and what that looks like. And time and score, we've used some analytic work on that, just to know when the best that would be.
Is any of it like a gut feel when you know how the game is going when you're on the bench, and do we have the puck enough? Do we not have the puck? I mean, I guess logically, if you put an extra guy out there, you could say, well, maybe that'd help our puck possession. But if I don't know, I just feel like I look at some of these games and it's like, if you don't have the puck all night, it feels like it ends up in your net 10 seconds later, even if you're 6-on-5. You know what I mean? Like, but if you have the puck all night, it seems like the odds are greater than if you threw another guy out there that you're going to be able to score.
You're spot on, Edge. First of all, we want the puck. You put a guy out there, shoot up your odds to get the puck back. There is a gut feel in there, but at the end of the day, you're down a goal. Whether you haven't had the puck all night, you're going to go for it. You're trying to win the game. You're not just trying to hold them to 1 goal. So if you can add a player, and hopefully create a scrum of the net or something that we can use that's advantageous for us and outnumber them, and we're going to do it every time. I mean, we want a chance to win.
The one thing that gets me in the analytic community going crazy against each other on that one, but I don't know. I just figured.
Are you guys at odds with the analytics and you? That's not
only
good.
on the only on that one. Like I don't know. I feel like I would play the luck factor potentially in hockey because it's so much greater than other sports. I don't know if I
Alright.
don't have the puck. I don't know. It's just me. But I just wanted to ask you because we haven't asked you about that yet.
All right.
All right. That's all we got. Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you.